You've been seeking answers from every dermatologist, doctor, and all over the internet, wondering what on earth this unbearable skin issue is. You know something's up, and you've been suffering and silenced for far too long. This podcast is going to bring awareness to the brutal reality that is topical steroid addiction and withdrawal syndrome. It will give you practical mental and physical tips to help you along your journey and provide you the strength you need to push through each day. You'll hear from real people battling this illness, as well as experts in the field, and I'm also going to share with you what's happening as I battle and conquer TSW. You are not alone, you're not crazy, and you will heal. If there's one thing I know, it's that anyone going through this hell is a warrior. My name is Jennifer Powers, and I welcome you to TSW Journey to Healing. Well, I'm sitting here at 6 a.m., been up for the last 2.5 hours, and I am using tweezers with my magnified mirror and peeling off flakes of skin on my face. And I thought, what better time than record a podcast episode for you, beautiful soul. So, welcome back to TSW Journey to Healing. I'm your host, Jennifer Powers, and I'm currently, what is today's date? Whatever, we're in middle-ish of November, and so I am, November 1st was month 11 of topical steroid withdrawal for me, so I am getting close to that 1-year mark, which is kind of crazy for me. I just think of you see those photos pop up on your phone of today, 1 year ago, and I've just been looking at them the last couple of days and looking in awe. I was like, my goodness, I was so pretty. And that's such a vain thing that's the first thing that pops in my head. But it really was just admiring my happy smile and the happy girl that I saw looking back at me from the photo. So it was actually less about beauty and more so about when I said oh, what a pretty girl, oh, I wish I was that pretty again, or that's the little girl in me. But the real adult Jennifer is looking beyond that and thinking it's happy girls are pretty girls. It's that Audrey Hepburn quote, if you know what I'm talking about. And so yeah, it's just been kind of crazy. I think I was right around now, just kind of discovering, oh my gosh, topical steroid withdrawal, this is a real thing. And when you look at photos, I remember thinking, oh shit, that's what I have. Oh my gosh. And then, last week in November 2021, I got COVID, and then I started officially withdrawal December 1st. So, all right, let me give you an update, because it's been real rocky. I'm not gonna lie. I wish I could report better to you, but I can't. But there's also been some silver linings and some positive moments. So, see, now I'm scratching. You probably hear me scratching away, scratching my chest at the moment. Yeah, so my birthday was October 1st. So the month of October was actually pretty brutal for me. Literally every weekend I was pretty much in a really, really bad flare. In fact, my birthday weekend was pretty disastrous. I was oozing. I hate the damn ooze. I don't even know what's what. We go over what's the worst. God, I am clawing my chest right now. If you hear that, sorry. But I know you get me. So I don't know what's, you go oh God, what's the worst? The burn, the pain when you bend and move, the scratching, the ooze, the thermoregulation, the da-da-da-da-da, all the things. It's definitely the scratching for me. I can't stand that I can't ever put my hands down. It just drives me nuts. But the ooze, man, that's definitely a close second, because it just feels so nasty, just feeling wet, and it's not pus, which would be really vile, but it's also what the, you're oh, it's just gross. It's just gross. So I literally covered my body head to toe, literally including my face. That wasn't the best thing to do, but with zinc oxide. I was using Desitin here in the United States. It's baby, diaper rash cream. Doesn't have the cleanest ingredients. I did find a better one. I haven't used that yet, but hopefully I won't have to. But yeah, that was pretty much the theme of October. It was a lot. A lot of that, and a lot of gauze, and a lot of tears. A lot of tears. And now, November happened, and crazy enough, about a week ago, when an episode did not get out last week, my apologies on that. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your subscriptions. For those of you that have subscribed to the show, like, it means the absolute world to me. And those of you that have left reviews, you've subscribed, you've left feedback and comments, and it's just so flipping cool and awesome. And I just genuinely thank you for that. If you haven't done that already, I would love you to do that. But anyway, where was I going with this? See, squirrel brain, or not even really, just lack of sleep brain. It was just a really, really awful October. And then November, like I said, a week ago, it was incredible. I was like, oh my gosh. I was trying not to you don't want to get too excited because you know how it goes up and down, this roller coaster ride that we're on. But I was amazing. Like, obviously not at all perfect, but like really doing phenomenal. And then, just over this past weekend, I go to spend the weekend with my boyfriend, and it's always that way, and you want to run into friends, or you're with a loved one, or you're with, you have a special weekend planned. It just seems like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, you're going to blow up in my face like this after so many days of perfection or close to it. And that's what happened. But here's also what started happening, I think probably the end of October, but maybe just the beginning of this month of November. The back of my knees, it was October. So the back of my knees did start to bother me. It scratch and get a little bit rough skin. But the last couple of weeks of being November, they have been real bad. They are spread, my thighs and my calves are itching me. The skin hasn't really changed there, but the back of my knees and spreading a little bit down my calf and a little up my thigh. Not too much, but enough. It's awful. It's red bumps. It's every time I scratch, even if I don't scratch too hard, it's oozing, it's wet, it's nasty. It's yesterday, the day before, it was really, really hard for me it was painful to walk. And man, what a feeling that is. If you are someone that's going through this and your legs have been drastically affected with TSW, I feel for you so hardcore. I wish I could give you a hug, because I was fortunate enough that my knees, my legs, everything from the waist down was honestly not an issue for me at all until about month 10, if I'm remembering this correctly. But my God, see how, I'm sorry for the noise. I hope it's not triggering you to scratch. Please don't scratch if you can help it. But now I'm itching my wrists. Okay, so anyway, back to what I was saying. It's, oh man, what a ride. What a freaking ride. It's just, when you take for granted something as simple as walking and bending your arms and bending your knees, I don't think I will never take anything for granted ever again. I'm sure you can relate to that. So, what's been helping is honestly not that much. I mean, put the Desitin on the back of my knees when they were wet and oozing. I tried to wrap them with gauze. I did do some Dead Sea salt baths with actually some apple cider vinegar in there, which is, the soak feels relaxing, but especially at nighttime, that itch there, it's the worst thing, because you're in the dark in your bed, you got pajama pants on, and you reach your arms down there, and you know what's going to happen, but you literally can't stop it. So so I'm in there scratching away, and I just put my hand there and I'm touching and it's soaking wet, and it's just the grossest feeling. So sorry if this is I should say scratch warning for this episode, because I don't want it to make you start going crazy and thinking about these things that you may be going through right now, but I'm just giving you the update on me. Also, this is TMI, so fair warning. How I said I was never affected the waist down. Well, I showed this picture to my mom the other day, and she was just like, oh my gosh, she felt so bad. But over the weekend, the groin area. Now, way early in the very, very beginning of me going through TSW, I had those swollen lymph nodes that were in around my collarbone, base of my neck area, and also my groin, my crotch, where your underwear would, I don't know. You know what I mean? And so the last couple of days, right now, thank God, knock on wood, not an issue, like much better. But a couple days ago, I was super itchy in that like bikini area. And I have a C-section from having my son like 11 years ago. And I was just, and we shave girls and I'm like scratching away down there, and the crease, so again, the bikini area and my C-section scar was raw, like raw skin. It was wet to touch, which made me feel so disgusting. So I put Desitin like an actual baby, slathered it on there, and then I put either toilet paper or gauze. I just like rested it there, and I pulled my underwear above it. And that is how I went about my day. And it just is so, I don't know what the word is. It's just so sad, like I felt sorry for myself, which isn't doing me any good, but it's kind of hard not to. So Lord, it has been a doozy. And to top it off, my eyes were driving me crazy, and they've been waking up super swollen, just like they did in the beginning, and the sides of my face by your eyebrows going down the side of your face, and my eyes themselves wet, ooze, like not listen. And I say this, I always believe it can always be worse. I have seen some horrible photos from some of you guys that just my heart absolutely shatters and breaks. So, but I'm not also going to diminish my hardship, my heartache, my pain. And I don't want you to do that either. So if you're someone listening to this and maybe you're thinking, gosh, like I have no right to complain because people have it worse than me. Don't ever think that. Your pain is yours, and no one else has the right to diminish it. And you should never diminish it, because this is your journey and your suffering is yours. It's your story. So it doesn't make any difference. There will always be people that have it better than you. There will always be people that have it worse than you. And the comparing thing is literally not serving you at all. It's probably keeping you stuck and maybe even slowing your healing process down. So that's what I got to say about that. So I wanted to share with you what I've been doing. So as you know, if you've been listening for quite some time, then you know that I have been going to the infrared sauna. I go to this place. I pay a monthly membership, and I'm in that sauna anywhere from 30 minutes to like an hour. I've loved it. It's crazy what I've noticed with like the healing that comes from even closing some open wounds when I have a sweat session like that. It's pretty cool. I also do red light therapy, and I do cryotherapy. Now, what's new that I haven't told you about, I started this photo therapy. It's this photo light therapy that's at a dermatologist's office. Funny enough, this dermatologist was really, really pushing Dupixent on me. And I was like, yep, no, not doing that. No judgment whatsoever. If you're listening to this and you're doing Dupixent, you do you, boo. You got to do what you got to do. It's just for me, I don't know. It didn't feel right or in alignment with me and what I was trying to do. And I wasn't here for that yet, or now, or hopefully never. But so he said that this photo therapy would give probably the same result as Dupixent. It would take like about 6 weeks, and he wants me to go 3 days a week. And you start really, the bulbs are very, very strong. So it starts out only just a few seconds. I think I was in there for like 6 seconds the first time. And now I'm up to like 26 seconds. So I've only been going for the last, 2 weeks, I guess. Honestly, obviously I'm still pretty in bad shape right now, so I haven't noticed a great change with that. But I did have a communication with, or my mother did actually, with what is she? Not homeopathic. She's not naturopath. Integrative medicine doctor in Delaware. And she, my mom showed her pictures of me, and she was like, oh my gosh, we need to help her like right now. And it's very sweet. But, I don't know if you have noticed this, but there's certain doctors and everybody, I try to believe that everybody is good. And everybody really means well. That's obviously not the case for every doctor, every person for that matter. But And sometimes it gets really, really frustrating. And I want to validate you for 1 second. If you have felt like, shut the F up, like whether it's a friend, a family member, a doctor you've seen, and everybody's like, oh, I know what you haven't tried this. This is what's going to do it. And you want to be hopeful, but you've tried so many things and it just makes you angry because you go into it thinking, all right, this person thinks a hocus pocus magic trick or like abracadabra and poof, I have the thing. I have your unicorn tears. I got your magic lotion or potion. I have the thing that's going to heal you. And you're just so fed up and you're tired and it's okay to feel exactly however you're feeling. You have every right to feel it. This is the most hellish nightmare of a journey that we're dealing with. And it makes total sense why you feel that way. So if you're a nice person, which I'm sure you are, and you snap at somebody or you even have those thoughts, be kind to yourself, give yourself that grace. It's okay. I have them too. So anyway, this doctor was talking to my mother about the Myers cocktail and how doing IV drip therapy would be something that she would absolutely recommend so that it would reset, or what her word was, like restart or reset my immune system and all this other stuff. So I don't know if you have tried IV drip therapy. I think it's pretty darn costly. I am actually going today for a consultation / I think an appointment. I think we're going to try it. I've heard things, in the ITSAN Facebook group of people taking super, super, super high doses of vitamin C, supplementing with that, which I do take a liposomal vitamin C that I really, really like. I will link that in the show notes, or you can check it out on the blog in the products section. And I actually tried not every day, but a bunch of days, I tried like 7,000 milligrams of liposomal C, and I think that's when I started to do really well. So who knows if there's a correlation there? I don't know. Stay tuned. I'll keep you posted. But the Myers cocktail was pretty interesting. I had to look it up, and just to give you some info on that. Well, actually, wait, let me back up. Before I talk to you about the Myers cocktail, they call it, let me talk to you a little bit about what the big hype is, or what people are saying about this IV infusion nutrient therapy. That's what a lot of places are calling it. So like, what is that? It's IV, obviously stands for intravenous. And so this nutrient therapy, the purpose of it is it bypasses that slow process of digestion. So when you eat foods or you take supplements, you're obviously having to go through the whole digestion process. So when you bypass that, it allows you to actually receive 100% of the treatment immediately. So vitamins, minerals, amino acids, whatever your cocktail is, they're injected directly into the bloodstream. And so they produce results instantly. So people have talked about feeling better immediately. Now, I'm not saying better for TSW, but better for whatever issue, or thing that they're trying to help. So, people get these IV infusions for all different reasons. Sometimes for times of massive stress or exhaustion or some chronic illnesses. And people are saying that some people have said they've experienced increased energy, like almost immediately. They've said that their mood has drastically changed. Their sleep has been improved. They feel better as far as like stress and anxiety levels. And then, for immune function, of course. So that's a little bit about what this IV infusion is all about. Now, what is this Myers cocktail that they're talking about? Well, the Myers cocktail, which sounds kind of funny because it's definitely not a cocktail like fun times drinking, but it was first developed by this doctor named John Myers, and he was a physician practicing out of Baltimore, Maryland, here in the United States. And so he helped patients by giving them injections that contained this blend of vitamins and essential nutrients. And so depending on whatever their medical problem was, these patients received injections once or twice a week, sometimes just once a month. And, the things that were in this cocktail were things like magnesium, calcium, vitamin C, and then vitamins like B, that B complex. So that includes vitamin B5, B6, and B12. And supposedly people were reporting back. I think this went back into like actually the 60s, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. That's when this kind of came about. But it was helping people with a variety of medical conditions, and helping them, manage these illnesses, because these IVs are supplementing in the place of like regular medications. So there was like in the case of fibromyalgia, the Myers cocktail therapy actually helped patients get relief from pain they didn't have any of the side effects that the typical non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs would have. So who are the people that consider getting these IV cocktails or the Myers cocktail? People that have things like acute fatigue, inflammation, sinus inflammation, seasonal allergies, cardiovascular disease, asthma attacks, migraines, low immune levels, hormone imbalances, depression, stress, etc., etc. It goes on and on and on. So this is how it's, if this is something that's intriguing to you, it was for me. It's administered in these like, not med spas. I mean, I guess some places are, but it's usually around a 45-minute process, and a trained medical professional is going to insert like a catheter into your vein. If you've ever gotten an IV, pinches obviously for a second, going into that vein, and then it should be good as long as you get a good professional who's administering this. And then you just sit, and usually a comfortable recliner, like a chair or sofa, and you just sit there for the next 20 to 30 minutes. And it's a drip. So it flows slowly and it goes directly to your cells because it's going directly into your bloodstream. So because they're bypassing, these vitamins are bypassing the digestive system totally, they have a way more potent effect to rejuvenate your cells, like almost instantaneously. And so that's how it's done. Now, side effects, because that's always a question, especially you and I, people that have this iatrogenic disease now, which means, we got something crappy from a medicine that was supposed to be good for us. Now if you're like me, you're super skeptical, cautious, you got major PTSD from it. How can we not? But you always want to know, let's look into it. Let's find all the loopholes. Let's find all the side effects. Let's make sure we're extra careful. We cross our T's, dot our I's, and we, make sure all of our boxes are checked off before we put anything in or on our body. So, as far as the side effects for this, what I have researched and what I've seen, it seems to be that there's rarely any side effects at all. Obviously, you could have soreness because it's a needle going into your arm. So you can definitely have soreness, redness, some bruising on the injection site, maybe some feelings of heat. Now, what's interesting for TSW is that magnesium, so magnesium being in this Myers cocktail, it's actually known to work as a vasodilator, which basically just means that it's expanding your blood vessels. So you may know this, that with TSW, there's a lot of nerve damage that has happened to us, but there's a lot of stuff happening with our blood vessels and them trying to kind of repair themselves or fuse back together. And so some people say that the oozing is actually the protein coming from our blood vessels. So as a result of this cocktail infusion, it might lower blood pressure levels. So that could cause some lightheadedness. Again, this is super, super rare, if any, side effects. These are maybe, possibly, gotta list them, I guess. That's what I've seen anyway. So if you have any of those signs or side effects, the doctor will probably just lower the rate where the serum, where it's entering your body. So, but the many, many, many benefits to this Myers cocktail, it just seems too good not to try. So I think we're going to try it today, and I will certainly report back to you on how that is. And that's really all I got. I think I want to save what I was just going to say. I think I want to save it for another episode, but it's going to be a really good one. So make sure you tune in, make sure you subscribe. It's going to be about the major power of loving the beep out of your body and your skin, especially not when it's doing great, loving it so hardcore, so effing much when you're in a big, bad flare-up. And I want to tell you what I noticed, what I started doing. But rather than make this a super duper long episode, I'm going to keep it short for you, let you go back and binge, listen, or watch some of the other episodes if you haven't done so already. Please share the show. It would mean absolutely the world, and it really is going to make a big impact on the world, getting this message out there, spreading that awareness, which I know you definitely want to do because you don't want to feel alone in this, and you're not. But let's make sure we can protect other people from having to go through the hell that we've gone through. And this is one way to do it. It's cheap, it's free, it's easy, so why not do it? Now, for those of you that have been asking me about the journal, I don't want to keep talking about it and apologizing. I had some hiccups. I had some of my own, again, a lot of stuff happened October, November with my own health that I had to just really obviously take care of first, which I know you can understand. So I'm hoping just in time for my 1 year TSW anniversary, if not December 1st, it will 100% be there before the end of this year of 2022. So I cannot wait. I cannot wait for you to get your hands on it. I can't wait for you to use it and share it. And I have also so many other cool things that I'm putting together for you that will be free resources and really powerful as well. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being a friend from afar, a TSW warrior survivor like myself. It's great to be in your company of you incredible, strong, beautiful souls. And I will always be grateful for that. No matter how much of this crap is difficult, I will forever be grateful for that. So thank you so much, and I will see you on the next episode. Thanks for listening. Please remember to subscribe and leave feedback. With your help, we can spread awareness together. So please share the show with anyone you know who may be struggling with a medical condition and using steroids to treat it. And be sure to check out the blog for helpful resources to aid you along your TSW journey at tswjourneytohealing.com.